be here. Alex Golesh wants to be at Auburn, and Auburn wants Alex Golesh to be here. His resume and life experience lines up perfectly with the Auburn Creed. He has a spirit that's not afraid. He's not afraid to compete at the highest level of college football and not afraid of expectation. He's not afraid to tackle one of the most difficult schedules in college football year in, year out. He was not afraid to take on a massive rebuilding job at South Florida and go on to succeed at a high level. He took over a South Florida program that won a combined 4 games in 3 years, including the year before Alex got there when South Florida went 1-11. So essentially he took over a 1-11 football team before he got there. So that's 4 wins in 3 years before he got there, and 23 wins the following 3 years. With a 9-win season this year that could easily be a 10-win season if he was coaching in their bowl game. Alex Golesh believes in hard work. For the past 20 years, he's climbed the ladder from student assistant to GA to assistant coach to coordinator to head coach. His story personifies the American dream. Coming to our country as a young boy, watching his parents start over and sacrifice to provide Alex and his brother with a better life. Alex saw their work ethic and he made it his own. He's an elite recruiter with experience coaching both sides of the ball. Both sides of the football. He has SEC experience. 4 years ago, his offense at Tennessee was ranked #1 in the country. His quarterback this season threw for 3,000 yards and rushed for 1,000. To put that in perspective for all of you, that's been done 12 times in the history of college football. And the 11 other guys is an all-star list of quarterbacks, many of whom went on to play in the NFL. When you have success like that, you earn other opportunities to coach at the highest levels. And Alex said no to many of those opportunities so that he could say yes to Auburn. We said it last month, Auburn is the best job out there. It's time for us to make a jump. It's time for the football program to give this fan base, which is the best in the country, exactly what it deserves. That starts today, it starts right now, and it starts with Alex Golesh, the 33rd head football coach in Auburn history. Please welcome Alex, his wife Alexa, the children Corbin and Barrett, to the Auburn family. War Eagle.
Alex Golesh coming to the stage for the first time at his first press conference as Auburn football's newest head coach. Auburn bringing a little taste of Florida to the plains with the foliage on stage.
War Eagle. I am so humbled and so grateful to be standing in front of you today. It's been a fascinating, let's call it 35 hours. Been 24 hours on campus, so I can't tell you how appreciative my family is of the opportunity. I can't tell you how grateful I am to be standing here today. I want to thank Dr. Roberts for the warm welcome and the opportunity. I want to thank John for his integrity through the search, for him doing it the right way, for the timing of it all to work out the right way, and from the start to the beginning, doing it with the highest class and the integrity that he promised from the beginning he would do it with, and I'm grateful for that, John. The Board of Trustees for how quickly and rapidly we were able to go through this process and for accepting me. I'm grateful to that. Lee Van Horn and the administrative staff that's worked for the last 24 hours We took a little nap last night for about an hour and then right back at it. Everybody that was involved with the search, thank you for choosing me and this staff and my family to represent one of the most storied programs in all of college football. The Auburn Creed: work, hard work. I believe in Auburn and love it. John tells the story of my family coming to the U.S., and I told the staff, I hate talking about myself. I don't ever want to stand up here and talk about me. I want to stand up here and talk about this program, Auburn University, and more importantly, our players. For the next couple minutes, we'll go through it, and then from here on out, it'll be about the program, the team, and everything that Auburn University stands for. I want to thank the most important person in my life and my rock, and the one that allows me to go to work and, as she says, hang out and do football with my buddies. But this young lady that I've dragged all across the country for the last 16 years, she's never once complained, never once said anything other than, I got it, I love you, you're gonna go be great and you're gonna go win. And my wife, Alexis, she's a rock star. My kiddo, yeah. My kiddos, Barrett and Corbin, and all they keep talking about is they can't wait to get up here and start playing baseball, flag football, cheering, and entrench ourselves into this community. I don't know if this community is ready for Barrett Golesh, but it'll be a hell of a ride. What you're gonna get from me, from our staff, and as we get rolling, our players, is the hardest working, toughest, grittiest program in the entire country. We're gonna work day in, day out. We're gonna find wins in every single margin we could find. We're gonna build a process-driven program, where we wake up and we worry about winning every single aspect of our lives every single day. I truly believe that if you buy into a process, a way of doing things day in, day out, from the moment you wake up to how you come in, to how you attack your relationships in a building, to how you attack the weight room, sports medicine, nutrition, the film room, the teaching, and then certainly the work on the field. You buy into eating right, sleeping right, hydrating right, outworking people in the things that nobody else sees, the end result will happen. A lot of the time, you don't control the end result. You control your daily habits, you control your daily process. And if you keep pouring into that, day in, day out, us as a staff, the student athletes, everybody that touches our guys, at whatever point, the process will pay you back. We're also gonna have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. We're gonna be explosive on offense. We're gonna play really fast. We're gonna challenge teams in every imaginable way. We're gonna run the freaking ball. People around here like running the football, and I can respect it. We're gonna be explosive. We're gonna play really fast, and it's gonna be a brand of football that's gonna be fun to watch. Defensively, we're gonna be just as fun to watch. We're gonna be aggressive, create explosives, create negatives, create turnovers. We're gonna be the most violent freaking team on the football field every single Saturday. We're gonna be different on special teams. We're gonna create explosives on teams It's going to be a huge difference in why we win. We're going to outwork, outthink, and outprocess people across the entire country. I told the guys yesterday in our team meeting that at whatever point we're ready to be a player-driven program, player-driven. I think in my time, as I've gone through this journey, I've been involved at every aspect or at every level of this thing. The one thing that remains the same is when it's coach-driven, when it's driven, the culture, the standards of everything in the program is driven by the coaches, by the support staff. You max out. Whatever that number of wins is, you max out. When the standards are upheld within that locker room, within each position meeting room, in every aspect of their lives, when it's driven by the players, we'll bring a national championship here to Auburn University. Recruiting is exactly the same. We are rolling up our sleeves. We've been here for 24 hours, and we have gone to work. We're going to recruit this 250-mile radius harder than anybody in the entire country. The high school football within these 250 miles is nothing short of elite. I've been in this part of the country for a long time. I've recruited this part of the country for a long time. Our staff, as it all comes together, is going to have a giant footprint in this 250-mile radius around campus. We're going to identify, we're going to recruit, we're going to attack, and we're going to bring those guys right here to the Plains. And we're going to develop as hard as anybody ever has. The investment that's been made from the administration to go and attack every single part of the recruiting is phenomenal. Nothing short of phenomenal. We've got every resource known to man right here to be able to go attract, recruit, retain, and develop the best talent there is in the entire country. 22 straight sellouts here, Jordan-Hare Stadium. 3 straight years of sold-out season tickets. The support is real. You could feel it walking in here this morning. We're in a race against ourselves to give this elite fan base, to take these elite resources and give what these Auburn fans deserve in every imaginable way. We're in a race against ourselves to do it as fast as we can. At the end of the day, I can't wait to the fall. 88,043 to cheer on our guys and give this fan base exactly what you deserve. I'm humbled, I'm honored, I'm so grateful to be here. This is a dream come true. To be the head football coach at Auburn University, to represent this fan base, I'm beyond grateful for you choosing me, John. I'm gonna pay it back tenfold, man. I will give this fan base, the alumni base, the former players, and everybody involved with this university, every single bit of everything I got. I'm grateful, I'm humbled, I appreciate you. And War Damn Eagle. Let's rock.
We are not going to cover the other media questions for Coach Alex Golesh, but if you want to check in on that, we will publish them on X. I want to go through a couple of things that I noticed that is, one of the differentiators between Golesh and some of the coaches that we've had in the recent past. One of them is I genuinely believe that he thinks that he can win a natty. It doesn't come down to the, 4th and 1 mentality that Harsin had. I don't think Harsin had the juice or the want to recruit players to Auburn University that were going to win a national championship. It's the expectation, and I don't think he could live up to it. And then you transfer that over to Hugh Freeze, who I think believe that if you could get a roster full of 5 stars, you can automatically win a national championship. But the one piece that he was missing was that he did not develop after recruitment the personal relationship with any of the players. And that came out recently, that basically he never talked to anyone, and he certainly was not visiting all 10 rooms in the facility, which Alex Golesh is known to do, and is something that you don't have to be over the top adamant about, that you are or over the top willing to do it, or like that you expect to win a national championship. The way that Alex Golesh works and coaches is you get to the national championship by creating a team that holds itself accountable and develops processes that allow you to be more efficient, and you ultimately reach that goal naturally, as opposed to forcing it, which obviously Hugh Freeze was going to try to force it just on pure talent because his scheme didn't work whatsoever. And then Harsin, who just was all coach speak and had no real plan to get Auburn to a national championship. In the chat, he definitely is a million times better than what Freeze had to say. And I want fans to realize this. You don't have to be a good public speaker to be a good football coach. Actually, if you are a good public speaker, I am questioning your ability to coach, because you might be focused on the wrong thing, or, even like Lane Kiffin, just an egomaniac that wants to hear themselves talk. I appreciate Alex for getting up there and sweating it out, and he had some prepared remarks. Obviously, it was quick and it wasn't full of nonsense. And I think that relates directly back to that national championship expectation. Is it's something that he wants to do, and he just wants to get to work. He doesn't want to sit around and try to appease people. He wants to actually go do it. So I'm going to give him big props on that, whether or not people are going to say he wasn't, the best behind the microphone. That doesn't matter. We're not Alex Golesh is not in the business of broadcasting. Elite recruiting. If you don't know about Golesh and his staff at USF, they were working with a decent budget for their conference, but it was about going out and evaluating 3 stars, some 4 stars, but getting those kids evaluated and selling the school. And Auburn sells itself, way better. Auburn's brand sells itself better than any of these guys. That they had to work with, between USF and the competition that they had down in Florida. So, and if you don't know, there's already been 3 or 4 kids that have decommitted from USF, and I am convinced at least 3 of them, 2 of them being wide receivers, one of them being a tight end, are going to be on campus at Auburn next year. Whether or not they're day one guys is still to be seen, but these kids love Golesh, and Golesh is able to sell that brand, and the brand speaks for itself. And these kids are going to buy in really quickly, which is great, because National Signing Day is coming up on us. And big footprint. And I haven't said this on the channel quite yet, but I think that Golesh goes out and gets T-Rob from Georgia and brings him back into the fold at Auburn, and we put ourselves in a position to dominate that radius that he was talking about. I do think that they are going to be able to keep recruiting Alabama at a high level, Mississippi, but they're also, I think, going to break even further into the Florida talent market and the Georgia talent pool, which is incredibly important for a school like Auburn to be winning in those areas. And I absolutely think that he will do it. Whether or not, again, the expectations are that this is a quick turnaround, I do think that he will be able to do it. We will see if he's able to do it in the next week or so, potentially down into the portal window in January, but certainly is going to lay a foundation using those using those areas and getting those kids in into the fold with Auburn. Maybe it's not immediately, but it should come to fruition at some point before the next season. And then obviously you're going to have a full year of the recruiting calendar to improve on those initial efforts, as soon as 2026 wraps. So I think that that's great, and I think that that's their game plan. And he's not just shooting shit for people to listen to. He's legitimately planning on doing that, and honestly, like, his success does depend on that. And I think that he is going to be able to win those recruiting battles because the guys that he has had on staff at USF are seasoned. They have exceeded their own expectations, and that is no different at Auburn. It'll just be amplified, which is great. Dream come true, he mentioned, and he's going to pay it back tenfold. It is definitely a dream come true because this guy, once he stopped playing high school ball, immediately went into coaching. He is a ball coach through and through. The guy, first of all, loves coaching. He loves being able to invest basically all of his time and all of his resources into coaching. He has minimal distractions. And I think that he has been around the block multiple times, and getting to a program like Auburn in a power conference that has the tools and the assets and the resources to do what he wants to do is exactly where he planned to land at some point. With that being said, he is 41, I believe. And if you remember, if you've been watching since the start of this coaching search, one of the things I wanted out of any coach, no matter who it was, which is why Dilly and Sumrall and Golesh have been in the mix, is because I want a young coach, because you cannot teach old dogs new tricks, especially as a head coach who thinks that they have a firm grasp on their scheme or whatever it is, or they want to do something one way and it worked across the country, but it ain't going to work at Auburn. And Alex Golesh has prepared essentially his entire adult life to be at a program like Auburn, and he is at Auburn. And I think he is genuinely grateful, and he has a work ethic that fits not only in line with the Auburn creed, but it fits with the blue collar type of ball that Auburn is known to play. And he can bring a modernized offensive scheme to Auburn and incorporate that. And I think that he will find success in it. And I have nothing but full support for Golesh. And one of the beautiful things over the last 24 hours has been that the fan base has united on Alex Golesh being the coach at Auburn. If you've been keeping up with any of it on social media, Sumrall was out on Auburn, fine. Florida ends up picking him up, and they are having a full-on meltdown on social media. And that is, first of all, one of the most toxic ways to start at a university is the fan base being divided. But thankfully, Golesh has not experienced that at Auburn. I don't think he will experience that at Auburn. And if anything, because you have to weigh the pros and the cons of it all, having that support right out of the gate certainly gets you some leeway with the fan base, and it will also influence the university and the administration to get you, the resources that you may need in addition to what was already offered to you. And I think that he is set up in a really good position to be able to have all of those things. And he genuinely appreciates the fans, which obviously, how could you not? Look at us. I mean, we are some of the most diehard fans in the country for a program that has been floundering, but is not traditionally a middle of the road or bottom of the barrel team. I think Alex Golesh recognizes that, and he will most certainly get Auburn back to its former glory, which, no matter how old you are, was as recent, honestly, as 2017. It is not that far in the past. It is certainly not as far in the past as a lot of other programs that hold themselves in high regard. This is a great time in Auburn's history to get a guy like Golesh, and it is absolutely a roster that does not need that much more put into it to be able to find the success that it needs. There's been a guy on Twitter who does these graphics every week, and it's basically like a running season record of if games went the other one score games went the other direction. Last week it had Auburn like third in the country. If Golesh and the boys can figure out a way to get the team in a position to win those one score games, which we have not been able to do the last 3, 4, 5 years, that is something that Auburn will need to do, because I know for a fact everyone's expectations, no matter how bad the seasons go, are to be in the CFP or in the CFP conversation right on the bubble. And I think that it is not going to be a huge lift to get us there. So I think Alex Golesh is absolutely the type of guy that is going to be able to do that, and only time will tell. But as things play out over the next month, going over into A-Day, and then how the fall ball looks, or summer practice camp, how that looks is going to tell a lot about what we're working with going into next season. So please, if you're watching this, if you watched the presser, if you've been reading about Alex Golesh, whether or not you wanted some home run hire or you wanted an underdog story, whatever it is, Alex Golesh is a great fit for Auburn, and he is a good guy for this job. So give him the support that he needs, and let this program naturally rise to the cream of the crop and get back to Auburn's old ways of being a national powerhouse, and see if we can't flip next year's tough schedule on its head and win some of the games we're not supposed to. But Alex Golesh, team player, wants his boys to be team players, and all the fans, we should all be team players as well. I appreciate you guys tuning into this quick episode of Tigers on a Roll, getting that press conference out there. And like I said, we will have the other media commentary, questions, and everything, and Alex Golesh's answers we will put those on Twitter when we have them, and we can start a conversation over there. Go follow us on Twitter at Tigers on a Roll. Like, share, subscribe, comment below on this video what you think of Alex, what you thought of the presser, what you thought of all the fanfare. Absolutely beautiful stuff that Auburn is doing for them, and at a right time to have him come on board. I appreciate everyone being in the chat, and I appreciate you guys watching these videos. This will be uploaded to YouTube in the next 15 minutes if you want to watch it again and see my ugly mug on your screen one more time. Go make sure that you're liking and subscribing, and we will have more good content for y'all soon. In the meantime, folks, War Damn Eagle, and see ya.